Okay, so MyFitnessPal is an amazing app that that will help you to really track what you're eating. And I think that it empowers us to learn more about foods right now, even when we're in 5-in-1. It kind of is a huge reality check about what we're choosing. And when we put little things in our mouth, how they impact things. And it's been, for those of you who saw my post in Super Power Losers this morning, it's been so helpful for me this week. And so I just want to kind of share with you how you can make it work, how you can make it show what you want to see in there. So let's get to it. So it's going to kind of come up pretty blank when you first open it up. And so what you want to do first is you want to go into the settings, okay? And in the settings, I got to get this out of the way. In the settings, it's going to allow you to change a lot of different things. So let's first go to diary settings. So if you just want to take some notes about this, in diary settings, it allows you to choose what things you want to see when you see your report. So I've chosen these 5: carbohydrates, fat, protein, sodium, and fiber. I think those are the most important, especially when you're in 5-in-1. Oh, okay. And so, but you see, if you hit the drop-down menu, there's lots and lots and lots of choices, okay? So number 1, I think, in 5-in-1 is carbs. You want to make sure that your carbs falls between 85 and 100 grams, okay? Because when you get past 100, you're really at the threat of being out of fat burning. So you want to, so those are some things that you can track. And then also what I did was I wanted it to give me options of adding 6 different meals. So I put in the names of the meals that I wanted it to have me enter. Okay, so you can, I think, you know, it had some options and I just put those in. So if you haven't fixed that, make sure that yours is showing correctly. So you have 6 meals a day, okay? Then you can decide what kind of settings you want, whether you want everyone to be able to see what you put in or just yourself, just your friends. This does have a friend option where you can kind of have a community of people and it will share to all of your friends what you're doing. So anyway, just kind of wanted to show you all of that so that you could edit those things in your settings. Now, the other thing that's going to be important for you to set up is something that I found very frustrating when I first got on MyFitnessPal. So what MyFitnessPal does is it kind of sets up a default nutrients and requirements for you. And so it was really frustrating for me at the beginning because I would be, you know, strictly on 5-in-1 and it would tell me every morning, you have not eaten enough calories. Not every morning, sorry, every evening. And that frustrated me because I'm a rule follower. And I don't know how many of you are, but I didn't like being told I was not doing what I was supposed to. And so I found this setting in there. Let's see if I can find it again. It's under goals. So right here at the top, it says home and then goals. If you click on goals and hit change goals right here, then it will let you put in, if you hit custom and continue, then it will let you set what you want, okay? So I set 1,000 calories because our 5-in-1 program is 850 to 1,000 calories. My goal is about 88 carbs, so it can be anywhere between 85 and 100, okay? Protein, I put 100. You know, it just depends on what you choose for your lean and green, where your protein falls. It's usually between 100 and 130. So just know that. Fat, you know, I'm not sure exactly where it's supposed to be, but I put that in. That's about where I seem to fall most days. And then the other thing that I feel like is important is your sodium intake. Our sodium threshold is supposed to be 2,000 milligrams or less. So, so that's what I added in there. Okay. The rest of these things are, you know, are not things that are too critical to me. So, so I went ahead and set it like that. Any questions about those couple of screens that I showed you so far? Okay.
When can you get great entertainment at a great...
Okay, next thing. I love those little pop-ups. Okay, next thing is your food logging. Okay, so if you just hit the food tab at the top, on a regular day, it's going to just have you start to fill in your food options. So I filled in what I'm going to have this morning, and I like to do this prior to completing my day, and even before I have, even before I've eaten the meals, just kind of plan it out for the day. And I think that really empowers you to, you know, say you came down here and you saw your carb count was, you know, it was, you know, 83. Then you're like, well, okay, so then I can add, you know, a little bit more to my lunch. You know, I can have a little more, some more Parmesan cheese on my salmon, or I can, you know, add some more soy sauce to my vegetables, or whatever like that. So I kind of want to show you how it works. So here's breakfast. I already added what I was going to have, and I think that's going to be good. So now snack, you're just going to hit there, add food. And there's already some things in there that I've had in the past. But if you wanted to search for something, say you wanted to have a MetaFast chocolate mint bar. So just type that in. Okay, and hit search. And then I just go down to MetaFast chocolate mint crunch bar. Click it and hit add food. Okay, so now it's in there. It's showing me it's got 13 carbs, 3 grams of fat, 11 grams of protein, 110 calories. Say you wanted to, you're doing some kind of a fancy recipe, and you decided that you wanted to do maybe some soft serve ice cream with a half a chocolate, you know, half of soft serve ice cream and a half a chocolate mint bar. So you can edit this. If you just click on it, it'll come back up here, and you can put a half a serving, and it'll show up that way. So you can put in a half a chocolate mint bar and MetaFast chocolate mint soft serve. Okay, and so then you just scroll through here, and sometimes it comes up under generic. Chocolate, no, that's, or I usually go down to M. Here we go. Chocolate mint soft serve. There it is. 1 packet, add food. Oh, I should have made it half. Darn it, now I'm going to have to edit it again. That's okay. Just click on it, make it a half, and save it. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, now let's go. I usually do my lean and green for lunch, so let's go there. Okay, so say you wanted to have some chicken. One of the things that I have that I use often is my chicken. So it's probably here on my menu. Let's see. It's been a little while since I've had it. A few days. Sometimes things go away. Okay, well, we're just going to use one of these instead. We're going to use the Kirkland Signature Costco turkey patties. Okay, so 1 is the serving. I just got that updated from Nutrition Support. So I changed the quantity there, and I'm going to click, just click that and hit Add Checked. And it'll throw that into my day. Okay, so, you know, so far we're at 30 carbs. Not too bad. It's pretty good. We're approaching. Okay, we got to add our vegetables. Let's say you decide to have, let's say you decide to have green beans. Okay, and maybe you're going to have 1.5 cups. So that you see the serving size generally right here is 1 cup. So I put 1.5 cups, 1.5 servings, and just hit Add Checked. Okay, so you can also add more than one thing at a time. So if you want to, I like to put some Parmesan cheese on my green beans. So this is 1 tablespoon, 1.33 servings of 2 teaspoons is going to be, actually 1.5, right? It's going to be 3 teaspoons. So I'm going to add that, and maybe I'm going to add some olive oil to be my healthy fat. Okay, I'm just going to drizzle that over my vegetables before I put the Parmesan cheese on, so you can add both of them at the same time. Okay, so who's, any questions so far? Is it seeming pretty simple?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, pretty simple. So now we're just going to add some simple MetaFast meals for the rest of our day. Okay, let's see. Maybe we'll do the blueberry muffin soft bake. And we're going to do the, what should we have for dinner? Maybe the beef vegetable stew. Okay. There it is. And then we're going to have a brownie. Okay, let's see if it's on the, oh, here it is right here, except I have a quarter packet on here, so I'm going to make it a one packet. Oops, 1 packet. And add. Okay, so we're at 86 carbs. We're right about where we want to be, okay? If you decide that you want to add, I'm hearing a little bit of feedback. I'm not sure where it's coming from, but well, say you decide that you want to, well, let's just say that you're cooking dinner for your kids, okay? And you, you know, you decide that you just get that done. Stop. You know, maybe you know, add a little bit of something extra. I just want to show you what happened to me yesterday. Actually, I'm going to show you what happened to me Thursday. So you can go back on your log and see previous days. I believe this is Thursday. So I had my hot cocoa, my mixed berry cereal with and a strawberry infuser. So be sure that you're adding all those things in. Notice that those infusers, even though they don't officially count as a MetaFast meal or anything, they're just a 3 limit, that they are still 2 carbs. So those are going to count in your carb count, okay? So what I did, oh, it must not have been this day. Okay, let me go back. Let me go to Friday. Let me see if it was Friday. Nope. Maybe it was Wednesday. Okay, here it is. Okay, so Wednesday at lunchtime, I decided to have some tomato puree with my spaghetti squash and my chicken chunks and a little Parmesan cheese. Well, I had my regular serving, and for some reason, you know, my head got the best of me, or kind of just being in the kitchen got the best of me. And I just went to the fridge and grabbed some more spaghetti squash and a little mozzarella cheese and threw that in the microwave and ate it and went, oh my gosh, I better go put that in MyFitnessPal. So you see that my servings are a little higher than they would have been if I was just doing my 5-in-1. So I put in 1.5 cups of spaghetti squash, half a cup of the tomato puree, and then I added the mozzarella cheese. And when I did that, it threw my carbs in that meal pretty high. And so what I did was I had to hop back in here and go, okay, what fast options can I choose that would be lower in carbs so that I don't have my carb count too high today? And I don't like to get too close to 100. To me, that's, you know, that's not a place I want to be. So I try and keep it under 95, preferably around 90. And so I switched my meal that I was going to have later in the day, and I had the original eggs and the Southwest eggs. I know they're not very available right now, but I had some, luckily. And so I grabbed those and had my my hot cocoa. So I ended up the day on track. But this empowered me to do that. Once I put that information in and saw that things were going to be high, I could make those changes. Yesterday was Friday. Yesterday, my sweet husband took me out to eat, and we went to Applebee's. So I had a big check out lunch. Okay, I ordered, you know, the little sirloin steak. It said it started with a 7-ounce, you know, steak, and I figured it would cook down to, you know, 5 or 6 ounces. So I ordered that. But when I put it in, when I got home, I was shocked that it was 800 milligrams of sodium. Oh my gosh. I got my green beans, and notice I only had a cup, and I was going to have more when I got home until I put this in MyFitnessPal. One of the other things that we ordered was the spinach and artichoke dip. I figured if I had a little, I would be okay. And I had about 1/8 of the bowl. I didn't have very much at all. Can you believe what it cost me? 16 carbs. I thought I was going to die when I put this in. 343 milligrams of sodium and over 200 calories. But this empowered me to make different choices the rest of the day. Okay. I went back to my eggs and you know, had a chocolate mint bar when I was at my sister's house, and closed out with the Southwest. But even if I would have had a couple of other MetaFast meals there, even if I wouldn't have been able to have the eggs, I would have been able to be under the 95 with most MetaFast meals. So any comments on what you're seeing here, or how you can make this work for you?
Well, I have a question, just like about the carbs with the MetaFast foods.
Uh-huh.
Are they so some are lower than others in carbs, or are they about the same?
Well, the eggs are the lowest, but everything else is usually 13 to 15 carbs.
So let me ask you a question, Kristy. If, say we're doing the 5-in-1, I'm just curious about this, and our carbs are up a little bit, would we be better off instead of to have a MetaFast meal, like to have a boiled egg?
Yes.
Or something that's lower in carbs?
Yes, if you want to stay in fat burning.
Okay.
So watch what this does. If I if I now say, well, I'm kind of hungry, I'll have an extra MetaFast meal, you know, and I grab, you know, a S'more Crunch bar, which is what most people grab when they just want something to eat. You know, doing that now is going to take my carb count to 101. Okay, so having an extra MetaFast meal is not necessarily the best choice. It's better for you to have, yeah, a hard-boiled egg if you still have one out of your 3 left for the week. Okay, or have a chicken tender, or, you know, something like that. Something that's going to be low in carbs, little extra protein, or you can have your optional snack. So just notice that I'm going to hit the minus here on the right-hand side. Take that away. It's pretty easy. And then maybe I'll choose to have my optional snack. So maybe I'm going to have, you know, 3 ribs of celery. Okay, so let's see, 3 stalks of celery. Oh, this is juice. We don't want that. Celery, 3, no, celery, 1 long stalk. Okay, so now we're going to put 3 because we get 3 stalks, right? If you're going to have that. That's a half a cup. Holy cow. Okay. Do you see how it's really, sometimes you look at things and you're like, man, that's pretty a lot. So notice that my celery only cost me 30 calories, 3 carbs. This is the funny thing, 156 grams of sodium in celery. Amazing. I didn't even realize. But notice my day. This is the one that I had, you know, my eat out at Applebee's. My sodium is way over where it should be. It's at 44. So, you know, I can expect, you know, maybe a little water retention because of that choice. And that's the reason I didn't hop on the scale this morning. Just a little psychological thing, but I was like, I don't want to do that. So, you know, whereas a regular day, I think Thursday was a pretty normal day. I didn't eat out or anything like that. I had my regular, all my servings. I was only at 1,300 grams of sodium. Okay, so big impacts on what we choose, and eating out really does make a huge difference. So,
did you see Lavonne's question?
I did not.
She asked, "Do we not count calories?"
You know, calories. So there they are. Generally, on the 5 and 1, our calories are between 850 to 1,000. But in order to stay in fat burning, Lavonne, the most important thing is that our carbs are between 85 and 100. So yes, you're going to see that when, you know, when you're on 5 and 1 and doing it correctly, your calories are going to be in that threshold. And you see my Friday, okay, was a little bit over that, 1,100 with the celery. Okay, but still not too bad. The other thing is when you do the 4 and 2 plan, if any of you do that and you do a little more exercise, you're going to find that your calories are going to be more around 1,200 with the 4 and 2 plan. So keep that in mind, and that's fine. However, your carb count won't change. In order to stay in fat burning, you still have to be between 85 and 100. So, okay. Oh, that darn pop-up. Okay, so any other questions? Okay, well, I think we've pretty much filled our time here.